Three-headed serpent, like Hitman 3. Was it a coincidence?
Hit 3 man. Hit 3 serpents.
Maybe I will be. I mean, yes, there are 3 targets in this one.
So we're going to be taking down a cartel, which means really getting into the nitty-gritty of drug law.
Yeah, of course. It's like it. Yeah, I gotta make sure that I tell everybody here that I'm a hitman before I kill them, because otherwise it's entrapment, and I'll be sent to what, hitman jail?
Well, it's a very complicated rule, because as we all know, if you ask a cop if they're a cop, they have to tell you, or it's entrapment. They're not allowed to pull you over. In fact, they're committing the crime of entrapment by asking you that.
Right, and then you arrest them.
You arrest them, you become the cop, but then you have to tell them that they're a cop. Because
You're right. It's like, yeah. So pretty much what has to happen here is we start out, the cop says, I am a cop, but if they don't say that they're a cop, then you can say, I am a cop, and arrest them.
yeah, it's kind of a classic, like,
and
you have to say
like grow a sheriff's star on your chest and everything.
Yeah, it all has to be kind of in one motion. You have to arrest the cop and say, I am now the cop. I am a cop.
You have to declare, I am the cop.
Well, he's committed entrapment, invisibility. You have to record it. You have a wire. He's wearing a wire too, of course, because he's trying to entrap you into the drug deal. That's
right.
The whole
I mean,
point.
yeah. Non-candy recipe.
Non-candy recipe, yeah.
Yeah, this isn't the candied stuff. This is, super. They said the word super cocaine.
It's probably really good as candy. It's just also coconated. Coca-Cola.
It's Coca-Cola-fied.
Yeah, it's Coca-Cola candy. It's delicious.
They're making a turn from the drug business into the confectionery business, except secretly they're actually making not candy.
Yeah. Why are we making meth? That's a Breaking Bad reference when they try Gale's coffee. When Walt tries Gale's coffee, and he's like, because it's like specially brewed to not have acid in it.
I never saw Breaking Bad. I'm gonna be honest.
Well,
I know there was
also
didn't at one point in time, like the Hank guy try to arrest the other dude, and it's like he didn't tell him he was a cop, so Heisenberg said that I'm the cop, and then arrested him instead.
Yeah, he was like, Saul the lawyer man called them and said, just tell him you're the cop and you arrest him because he's trying to entrap you.
Yeah.
And he actually has to go with that. So and
it's like, wait, and then you have to ask Sal, it's just like, are you a cop? And he's like, I am not a cop. And then it's not entrapment.
Yeah. The cop can lie to you, to be clear, but he has to tell you. He also has to tell you the truth.
Well, yeah, but like, then the sheriff's star will disappear from his chest.
That's true. It's kind of like, I mean, it's like it's a hologram. It's a projection.
It's more like a sort of like ephemeral symbol of lawfulness that can be bestowed or taken away at will, like a paladin's power in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it's like a magical thing. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it kind of dissolves.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're all aware of the law process.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just
I don't
telling
even know why
this
I'm explaining this.
We're going over this because the mission is dealing with drug law.
True. It's like you haven't really been looking into too much drug law and like how entrapment works and everything.
By the way, you know how I said the Breaking Bad reference? We were kind of like, God, that might be a stretch. He got a job working for a local high school where he taught chemistry and physics. I think they're actually doing that. I think this is the Breaking Bad cartel episode.
This would be about that point in time, right?
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't surprise me if this was an explicit reference, but there's also so much media that is just like, the drug, your scarred faces and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly what the state of cartel literature and media was when Breaking Bad came out, so this might have been an earlier reference.
But at the same time, it's like this is also the very clear reference they would make, right?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's a chemistry teacher, that tells me, okay, you're at least alluding to Breaking Bad.
I feel like Breaking Bad is about the reference that the Hitman 3 would go for, or 2 in this case.
I don't know when it came out. It probably came out because Breaking Bad goes back to like 2008, and Hitman was 2006. I think Hitman 2 fits into that timeline. I don't know.
But I mean, the fact that we're still taling about Breaking Bad right now, it's like, I would say that's...
Yeah, anyway, let's get back to the entrapment discussion. I think that's more important.
Did it have any more legs there? I mean, look, all you gotta do is if you're a cop, you have to say that you're a cop. It's as simple as that. But you also have to make sure that they are doing something illegal, too. Because, they can just obviously not do something illegal if they know you're a cop.
There's a delicate dance where, you've got the drugs, the cop has the money, and you've got to exchange it. But if you exchange it without the cop announcing that he's a cop, then it's entrapment.
Then you get to say that you're the cop, yeah.
But if he does catch you, like while you're in the act of moving the drugs, then he says like, I am a cop while you've got the drugs exposed, then it's like, ooh, you've got possession. There's no way around that. And
well, as long as you are made aware that they are a cop by the time that the drugs appear. It has to be clear that you know that you are not doing something illegal when you learn that this person is a cop. Because if you are doing that, then it's just like that is entrapment. Because then you are already aware that you were not aware when presenting the person with an illegal thing that they were a cop.
It's kind of this. It becomes kind of an elaborate game because you present somebody with a bag of flour, and then they say, I'm a cop, and it's like, well, you're holding...
No, they have to say they're a cop, and then you present them with a bag of flour, and they're like, oh.
Well, it's not illegal to sell flour and call it, especially if you're using a slang term. It's like, well, that's what I call flour. I call it crack.
What region?
Albany.
Well, I'm from Utica. It's upstate New York, you idiot. You ruined it.
Well, I guess the bit is dead. Well, no, we gotta finish the episode though. So there's like 16 minutes.
Yeah, it's
left.
like if we want to go reach a little bit more into Simpsons references, I'm sure we can figure out something.
Yeah, I mean, well, the point is like when it becomes this elaborate game because they can pretend to be a cop, and then the cop is actually watching the whole thing from a monitor outside the room or a one-way mirror. And so then you presented your flour, and it's like, well, that's not going to work. Well, can you give me the actual... But you didn't say you were a cop.
Right, no, you have to also, signal that you're a cop, which is why you can do things like pass a note over to the person. And if they choose not to read it, well, that's their fault.
So to be clear, do they have the sheriff's star on them at the beginning when they...
They can hide it underneath clothes. It's just it does go to the top layer when you declare yourself a cop.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. So it's kind of like the drugs in a way. It's hidden until the last moment, and then
right. The thing is, it can't be until the last moment because you have to. I mean, that's the entire thing.
Not the very last.
With this whole dance, right?
Yes.
Where it's like you have to make it clear that you're a cop before they do something illegal. Because if you do it after they do something illegal, then it's entrapment.
Yes, that's right. It's that timing is so crucial. I mean, it's really it's weird that our system of laws is based entirely on doing this trans. But I mean, that's what laws at the end of the day are just technicalities, and it's a matter of
there is the sheriff's star.
Your way around. Yeah, I mean, the sheriff's star is a manifestation of legal energy. That's true.
Well, legal energy, I would call it more of like a manifestation of God's dominion over the laws of man.
Well, agree to disagree on the religion stuff, because I don't believe that any man can hold the scepter of God.
No, but I think it's more like providence bestowed upon the worthy.
Oh, yeah, providence. That runs the world, by the way, I've heard.
Oh, yeah, that's actually true. I don't think they choose who gets the sheriff's star, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's
the dominion of...
That's the dominion of man. In my opinion.
Fine.
Or
I thought I had you there for a second. By the way, yes, I did just steal the clothes off of a dead guy at the river, in case you're wondering.
Dominion of Man, which is the Deep Space Nine faction.
It is not. The Dominion was of the shapeshifter people. which I don't remember what the name was.
Right, but they can shapeshift into becoming men, and they can have the star.
Does that, if you're a shapeshifter, does that count? Like, if you were to say, like, you know,
I'm pretty sure the
magic thing, like only a minotaur can cast a spell, and you're a shapeshifter. Does that count?
I forget how it works. I feel like it was a lot of, like, you know, hand waving and stuff, but I'm pretty sure they had the cellular structure of whatever they were trying to imitate. It wasn't just like they were putty, but they also can turn back into putty if they, you know, get into the wrong sunlight or whatever, like vampires or something.
I mean, I'm just saying that it's like if you were like, oh, if you had to date a classic movie monster or something, and you're just like, I want to date a shapeshifter, and they did, like, come on, right?
Yeah,
I want to date the one that can turn. I want a million wishes. I wish for a million wishes, sort of thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, though, if your classic movie monster is a shapeshifter, how do you know you're getting a shapeshifter and not somebody who's shape-shifted into the shapeshifter's shape?
You know, that is true. That's why they had to declare that they're a shapeshifter before. Because otherwise it's entrapment.
Yeah. This is...
yeah. Think about that. It's just, look, entrapment is a very difficult part of the law. I mean, especially given that it is chosen by the you know, providence of man or God.
It overrides all other laws, is the thing, because it deals with the legal enforcement.
I know, this is a pretty easy one.
Yeah, you actually didn't throw them off a cliff. You actually
nope, they didn't need to. I just kind of used the piano. Nah, just kidding. Insert the Three Stooges woo 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 there.
Yeah, or that almost felt like a Laurel and Hardy kind of thing. Like
and I could have easily thrown her in the hamper too. It's just like, man, that'd be awkward to, you know, throw like a dead person on somebody that's already unconscious in there too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I would have to say that it's just like I'm throwing a dead person on you. Otherwise, it's entrapment.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those kind of difficult areas of the law where you can get away with murder if you can navigate the entrapment law, but navigating
the really difficult part about murder.
Honestly, it's said that navigating entrapment law is worse than being murdered, though. So it's a little bit of a chicken and egg situation, or, you know,
where it's like you have to declare that you are an egg, otherwise it's entrapment.
Otherwise, it's entrapment unless the chicken births the egg before the egg declares that it's an egg. In which case, it's just a normal crime, the crime of being born.
And then you're just arrested for a normal crime. Look, it is hard to do crimes due to entrapment laws.
Yeah.
It's like actually, you have to knowingly do a crime in front of somebody that is declared. That's why it's like what you got to do is it has to be the second that you see somebody like taking out the drugs or whatever, then you're like, I'm a cop.
Yeah,
then it's like you already see the drugs in their hand, and then it's just like, oh, they can't take it away fast enough. Or like, what do they do? They try and hide it behind their back? No, you already saw it.
Now you might be wondering, well, how do cops ever catch anyone if this entrapment law is so strong? Well, you got to remember that they've got all the skateboards that they've ever confiscated in the back, and they can ride them, and they're very fast and efficient with that.
Right. I mean, it's like cops got to be fast. That's the number one thing if you become a cop. That it's just like you got to be really fast. You got to talk fast. You really practice that. Like, I'm a cop. Or just like you're short, and it's like me cop.
Yeah, and honestly, you just have to say me cop in a way that's comprehensible. If you could say that, me cop,
or like, you know, pass them a sheet as long as you know that it's like they're probably not going to read it or something.
Yeah. I mean, and you might say, well, isn't something a crime even if the cops aren't watching? And that's true. But like in a drug deal situation,
is it a crime if somebody's not watching? Think about it.
Kind of one of those philosophical questions. Yeah, is it a crime if no one's watching? Well, what about murder?
The point is that this is the reason why most drug dealers, you know, have to have you forced into like a big T-pose at all points in time to make sure that it's just like, you know, you're not hiding something behind your back, but like also you need to have like the Ludovico technique sort of thing going on so that you have to see if there's drugs anywhere.
you can't even have like because there could be any blink. Is that the worry? Like you don't want them blinking,
right? Yeah. If you
one tenth
blink,
of a second.
If they have their eyes, if they have their eyes covered, then they can just be like, I didn't see drugs, and then like, oh, by the way, I'm a cop, and then take the blindfold off, bam, you're arrested.
Yeah, because you need to establish intent as part of the jurisprudence, and if you can't establish that their eyes were open, then you can't do it. And then conversely, like the criminal is trying to avoid detection. I mean, the cop is the criminal.
It's like if there is in fact a cop there, it's like you don't want to accidentally take out the drugs, which is why you have to be in that big T-pose thing. You have to have like the scarecrow type of thing in back of you, holding your arms out at all points in time, to make sure that you don't accidentally take out the drugs. That it's a very clear, obvious thing that you are doing, and you have to make sure because otherwise, they're going to be able to say, "I'm a cop" as soon as you're trying to take it out of your pocket.
Yeah,
and then it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to put it back in your pocket? No, you can't just take your hands. You can't just like, I was reaching for my keys. No, I can clearly see that's the outline of drugs there. By the way, on-screen vor.
What you mean you're gonna eat the watermelon that's right there, sitting on there? What are you talking about?
Finally, after all of last episode, we got this one. See, and you said that I just throw people. I mean, okay, I did throw somebody off of the edge of something, but into the mouth of a hippo.
Yeah, you really. I don't think you even committed the murder there. You just pushed them. You gave them a little shove.
Well, I did say I'm a hitman before pushing him. And also that hippo, you didn't hear it because I know you don't have the sound, but it did say I'm a hippo.
Yeah, because otherwise it would be entrapment.
Because otherwise it would be entrapment, yes.
Yeah. You're entrapping...
and then he wouldn't have died.
You're entrapping that man's body.
He would have been like, wait a second, this is entrapment, and just walked right out of the hippo's mouth.
Do we have time for the Grimace tangent, or do we want to do that?
Why do we want to talk about your sick Grimace fan fiction? Why do you want to bring this up?
See, this is your limit, by the way.
You went into so much detail about how you want to be eaten by Grimace, about how the inside of Grimace is a torture chamber where he knows that where he makes you immortal, and also, hey. And also knows that you are pretend that Agent 47 is saying this right now. By the way, just for extra verisimilitude.
Yeah, he's just talking to himself while he's just walking around. And,
pretend that he's talking to second guy right now, like he's got you in like the earpiece.
Yeah, like it's actually.
Look, I'm trying to go through the mansion right now. We cannot talk about your Grimace vor-based fan fiction.
I would call it more of a fantasy, but to each his own, all that.
True. I suppose there's not really an overarching like storyline or anything. It's more like a very fleshed out detail about how Grimace, the purple blobby character that's meant to sell you hamburgers.
They know who Grimace is. There's rumors they've been doing the meme for the last 2 weeks and stuff. There's no, I mean. It's just okay. So my problem with the Grimace
why is this? Meme. I mean, look, this is not satisfactory. I can't just end the episode right now. We have a set extra 6 minutes that I cannot prevent you from talking during.
Yeah, actually, that would be entrapment on your part.
Oh right, I didn't say that I was a cop. I mean, I'm not a cop. No, wait, I can't.
I mean,
wait.
You didn't say that you were a YouTuber. I don't know what this is all about you being a cop. This is the first time hearing of that. So that would mean it was entrapment.
Okay, well, you didn't say that you were a cop, so I'm in clear.
Therefore, I become the YouTuber for the rest of this, and I get to decide
you didn't say
what goes
it,
into the video.
You didn't say the words.
I am a YouTuber?
No, it's too late. I'm a YouTuber.
That was the first thing I said when we
Sheriff Star appeared back on my chest.
There was before we recorded this, before we started the video, I said that on the recording is the first thing I said, that I am a YouTuber.
No, I'm the YouTuber. There, Sheriff Star, bam.
Captain Phillip Street, damn. All right, well, can I go on with the Grimace thing? Can I just explain that, or?
Damn it! I was so close to getting away from it. Hey, did you know that there's like there's a bunch of the poisonous plants around here? There's like lethal poison and like non-lethal poison and everything. You just kind of pick it up on the outside of this area. I never figured out a really good way to end up using that in this mission. So
Is that how you can poison the cocaine? Like what you
yeah, there are lines of cocaine. They don't really appear a whole lot, but they do appear occasionally. Yeah, that was a piece of driftwood that I just beamed that guy with.
Oh, was he the guy you were eliminating?
No, he's just a dude.
Oh, he bad luck. Was that a kill, by the way?
No, I just hit him in the head with a piece of driftwood.
Oh, okay. And he instantly...
Same thing with like this coconut, for example, which you can throw directly at somebody's head. And it will not kill them, but knock them out.
Make a Molotov cocktail by putting a lime in the coconut.
No. No, like, come on. First off, that would be way too destructive, and I think that would violate the whole, like, silent assassin type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
By the way, I waited in there for like 5 straight minutes to do this.
Wow.
Yeah, another one of these episodes where we didn't really get to see too much of these areas, just because it's a lot of just kind of like wait in one place.
And my idea was just that, Grimace would just eat you like whole, and you'd be like slowly dissolving in a bath of acid while he looks inward at you.
35 meters left.
And that's pretty much it. I mean,
please, Hitman, hurry up.
You're immortal, all that stuff. It's pretty mundane, actually. I mean,
by the way, I'm a YouTuber.
Okay, so it is entrapment for me.
Yep, that's right. You're going to jail.
Damn. All right.
I'm also a cop.
Damn. But you didn't see me committing a crime, unless it was for the crime of artistic expression.
I'm sorry. The Grimace thing.
Is expressing myself a crime?
Well, we're gonna have to let the courts decide that.
Columbia assignment successful. Tactical targets neutralized. Militia transport network disabled. Location of primary target unknown. Team chasing several leads. End message. Encrypt and send.
I'm not as strong as you. They have to pay for what they did.
It needs to stop. You need to stop.
If my source checks out, we can prove the board knew about the chemical leaks. We'll have grounds for a retrial.
It won't make a difference. They're too powerful.
They're not the devil, Nancy. Just a company. They're not above the law, don't you see? This is bigger than James. Those bastards killed 80 people.
And they got away with it. Think about what that means.
No one's untouchable.
No one's untouchable.
Diana!
Coming! Mom? Dad?
We got what we came for. Move out.